Did you know that letting go of certain things as you get older can make all the difference in how you live your golden years? What if I told you that shedding some of these things could unlock more freedom, joy, and peace in your life? As we age, life has a funny way of reminding us that sometimes less is more. Between the ages of 55 and 75, many of us start to realize that holding on to old habits, relationships, and expectations can weigh us down. But what if you could truly embrace your later years by simply letting go of a few things that no longer serve you? In today's video, we're going to dive into 5 things that you need to let go of between the ages of 55 and 75 to live your best, happiest life. Trust me, it's all about freeing yourself from the clutter, physically, emotionally, and mentally, so you can enjoy the peace and joy you deserve. Let's get started. First thing to let go of: outdated expectations of yourself. As we get older, it's easy to cling to the goals and standards we set for ourselves in our younger years. Whether it's a career goal, a personal achievement, or the image of what we thought our life would look like, holding on to these outdated expectations can start to hinder our personal growth. The truth is, life doesn't always go according to plan, and that's okay. When we hold on to rigid ideas of success or happiness that no longer align with who we are today, we end up feeling stuck or even disappointed. This can create unnecessary stress and rob us of the ability to fully embrace the opportunities of this stage of life. At this point in life, it's time to redefine what success and happiness mean to you. Maybe your career-driven ambitions are no longer a top priority. Maybe you've realized that working long hours or chasing after promotions no longer holds the same appeal. It's time to let go of the notion that success only looks one way. Success can be about finding balance, nurturing relationships, or even taking time for the things you've always wanted to do but never had time for, like learning a new skill, picking up a hobby, or traveling. Take the example of Mary, a woman in her early 70s who spent most of her life climbing the corporate ladder. When she retired, she struggled at first because her identity had been so tied to her work. For a while, she felt lost, like she was missing something. But over time, Mary realized that her true happiness didn't come from her professional title. It came from the simple joys of life. She started painting, something she always loved, but never had time for. She took up gardening, and finally learned how to play the piano. Now, instead of measuring her worth by her job title, Mary measures it by the fulfillment she gets from her creative pursuits. Letting go of those old, outdated expectations allowed Mary to discover a whole new chapter of life, one that was more enriching and meaningful than she could have imagined. So if you find yourself still holding on to old goals and definitions of success, ask yourself, what would happen if you let go of these outdated expectations? What new opportunities could you make room for? Second thing to let go of: toxic relationships. As we age, one of the most freeing things we can do is to prioritize the relationships that truly bring joy, support, and positivity into our lives. The truth is, life is too short to spend it surrounded by people who drain your energy, make you feel less than, or consistently bring negativity into your world. Toxic relationships, whether they are friendships, family dynamics, or even work-related connections, can weigh heavily on our mental and emotional well-being. Holding on to them out of obligation or fear of conflict is not only exhausting, it can actually prevent us from forming the deep, meaningful connections that we deserve. It's essential to recognize when a relationship has become more harmful than helpful. Sometimes we hold on to toxic friendships because of nostalgia or because we feel guilty about letting go. But the reality is, maintaining these kinds of relationships in your later years is simply not worth it. Imagine the energy and peace you could gain by shedding these connections and making space for healthier, more supportive people who truly value you for who you are. Take the story of Frank, a man in his early 70s who had spent decades maintaining a friendship with someone who constantly criticized him and made him feel inadequate. For years, Frank convinced himself that this friendship was important and that he should tolerate the negativity. But as Frank got older, he started to realize that the relationship was taking a toll on his happiness and mental health. He finally made the difficult decision to distance himself from this friend. At first it was tough, but over time, Frank noticed an immense shift in his life. With that toxic relationship out of the picture, he found more time to nurture friendships with people who encouraged and uplifted him. He felt lighter, more energized, and at peace. The key here is self-care. As we get older, it becomes even more important to set boundaries and protect our emotional well-being. Self-care isn't just about pampering yourself, it's about being intentional with the people you allow into your life. Setting clear boundaries and choosing to walk away from toxic relationships isn't selfish. It's necessary for your happiness and longevity. You deserve to surround yourself with people who lift you up, not tear you down. Letting go of toxic relationships might be challenging at first, but the peace and freedom you'll gain are more than worth the effort. Third thing to let go of, the need for control. As we get older, one of the most transformative things we can do is let go of the constant need to control every detail of our lives. Whether it's planning every minute of the day, managing everyone's actions around us, or trying to micromanage situations, this constant need for control can become a source of unnecessary stress. Life is unpredictable, and the more we try to control things that are beyond our influence, the more anxious and overwhelmed we feel. When we let go of this need for perfection and control, we open the door to more peace and joy in our everyday lives. Relinquishing control isn't about giving up on life or abandoning responsibility. It's about recognizing that some things are out of our hands and learning to trust ourselves and others to handle them. Letting go of control means embracing the unexpected and allowing life to unfold naturally without trying to micromanage every detail. This shift can lead to a deeper sense of freedom, as we stop stressing over what's out of our control and start focusing on what truly matters. Take the example of George and Linda, an elderly couple in their 70s, who spent most of their lives managing everything, George with his career, and Linda with their home and family. In their earlier years, they tried to control every aspect of their lives, from making sure every task was completed perfectly to ensuring their kids followed a strict routine. But as they got older, the weight of this constant micromanaging began to take a toll on their relationship and their well-being. One day, Linda had a revelation. Why not let go of some of the control and simply enjoy life more? She began to delegate more responsibilities to George and even to their children, allowing herself to relax and stop worrying about every little detail. George, too, learned to let go of some of his need to plan everything and started to enjoy spontaneous moments. They both found that life became a lot more joyful when they let go of the need to control everything. Instead of being stressed about every little thing, they started to savor moments together, whether it was going for walks without a set plan or simply enjoying the company of friends without worrying about perfect arrangements. Letting go of the need for control can truly transform the way we experience life as we age. It frees up energy, reduces stress, and makes room for joy in places we might have overlooked before. By giving ourselves permission to relax and trust that everything doesn't have to be perfect, we allow ourselves to fully embrace the beauty and spontaneity of life. So, if you find yourself clinging to control, ask yourself, what would it be like to release that grip and let life flow a little more freely? The rewards are often greater than we realize. Fourth thing to let go of: worrying about what others think. As we age, one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is the freedom to stop worrying about what others think. For much of our lives, we may have been driven by the desire to meet external expectations, whether it's fitting into societal norms, pleasing family or friends, or conforming to standards we didn't necessarily choose for ourselves. But the truth is, at this stage in life, those concerns no longer need to hold power over us. Letting go of the need for validation and embracing your true self can be incredibly liberating, allowing you to live authentically without constantly second-guessing your choices or fearing judgment. When we stop seeking approval from others, we make room to fully embrace who we are. This shift allows us to step into our own power and take ownership of our lives. It's about finding joy in doing what makes you happy, not what others expect of you. Whether it's wearing that quirky outfit you've always loved but were too self-conscious to wear, or pursuing a hobby that brings you joy, freeing yourself from the constant need to please others can open up a world of possibilities. Take the example of Betty, a woman in her early 70s who spent most of her life playing by society's rules, always dressing conservatively, following the expected path of her peers, and never stepping outside the lines. But one day, Betty decided to stop worrying about what people thought and began wearing the bold, colorful clothes she'd always loved but had been too afraid to wear. She started taking pottery classes and joined a local art group, activities she'd dreamed of doing for years but never dared to try. The moment she let go of worrying about judgment, she noticed an immediate shift. Betty felt lighter, more confident, and deeply connected to her own happiness. Her mental and emotional well-being blossomed, and she found herself enjoying life in ways she never had before. When we stop worrying about the opinions of others, we not only enhance our emotional health but also create a space for true inner peace. We no longer need to hold on to the constant pressure of seeking approval, and instead, we get to live in alignment with our own desires and values. So, if you find yourself still worrying about what others think, ask yourself, what would your life look like if you just embraced your authentic self without the need for validation? The freedom that comes with letting go of this worry is a powerful step toward emotional wellness and a richer, more fulfilling life. Fifth thing to let go of: clutter and excess stuff. As we age, one of the most impactful changes we can make is letting go of the physical and emotional clutter that weighs us down. It's easy to accumulate stuff over the years, items we've collected because they hold sentimental value, things we've bought out of habit, or possessions that were once useful but no longer serve a purpose. However, all of this excess can start to feel like an anchor, holding us back from experiencing the freedom and peace that come with simplicity. Both physical and emotional clutter can contribute to stress and anxiety, making it harder to truly enjoy life and embrace the present. Decluttering isn't just about tidying up. It's about creating a more peaceful and organized environment where you can thrive. When you clear out the things that no longer serve you, you create space for what truly matters. Start by focusing on one area at a time, whether it's a drawer, a closet, or a whole room, and ask yourself, does this item bring me joy or serve a real purpose? If not, it might be time to let it go. Don't be afraid to donate, sell, or simply discard things that no longer align with your current lifestyle. You'll be surprised at how liberating it can feel to clear away the physical clutter, and the emotional benefits can be just as powerful. Take the example of Harold, a man in his 60s who had spent years filling his home with items he thought he might need one day, or things that had been passed down through generations. As the years went by, Harold found himself overwhelmed by all the stuff. His home felt cramped, and it became harder for him to relax. One day he decided to take a hard look at his possessions and ask himself if they truly added value to his life. He started small, clearing out old clothes, books, and furniture, and gradually moved on to larger items. The more he let go of, the more space and peace he felt. Harold even found that in the process, he discovered items that brought him real joy, like his collection of family photos or the antique desk that had sentimental value. By simplifying his space, Harold not only created a more organized home, but also found a sense of freedom and clarity that had been missing for years. Letting go of clutter, both physical and emotional, is a powerful way to simplify your life and create a more peaceful, fulfilling environment. When your surroundings are calm and organized, it's easier to focus on what truly matters, your relationships, your health, and the experiences you want to enjoy in your golden years. If you're feeling weighed down by excess stuff, take a moment to consider, what would life be like with less clutter, more space, and a sense of simplicity? The benefits are truly worth the effort. Conclusion. Letting go of these 5 things can truly transform the way you experience life in your 55 to 75 years and beyond. By releasing outdated expectations, toxic relationships, the need for control, the worry about others' opinions, and the clutter in your life, you open yourself up to more freedom, peace, and joy. Remember, the best years of your life can still be ahead of you. Sometimes, it's just about making space for what really matters. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and comment below with either a 9 if you're ready to make these changes, or a 0 if you're starting your journey today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, take care and keep living your best life.